Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Husky Introvert Believer. This is your said Husky Bible Ariel again, coming back from a long hiatus from doing solo podcasts, mostly doing the Husky Barbus with Jonathan, and decided just to chime in back, do a solo podcast just because it's been a while. So I need to justify that I created this thing, so I have to regularly post some podcasts. Like I'm obligating myself, like I'm holding myself to a contract with that I did not physically sign, but I did sign morally or spiritually or mentally with myself that I was gonna do these things. So I'm doing it. I'm holding myself at gunpoint here. Like, you're gonna come here and you're gonna record, son, because you promised yourself you're gonna do this because you felt doing these. So here I am, fulfilling my obligation to myself from months past to actually do these things, to record these podcasts, because these are supposed to be more personal in terms of me spewing out my guts, I guess, and speaking out what I feel uh, at the moment of recording, which is very fleeting because emotions come and go. Like one moment I can feel great, then something happens. If it's negative, it could affect that emotion and turn it into feeling not so great. So it's weird to talk about, your emotions because it's a constant flow of things. It doesn't necessarily stay the same. So to depend your life on emotions is very, how do I say, very insecure way of living because emotions again are very inconsistent. I guess that's the word that I'm looking for. Very, very inconsistent. So I guess you have to find a way in terms of finding your path and finding that which is assurance to you. So you need to be having assurance of not necessarily a feeling, but who you are. Be familiar to yourself and to things at your disposal, at your things that are near you. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Basically, what I'm saying is to be true to yourself, to know who you are, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and know what you're about. Like, for example, at this range in time, at this point in my life, I can wholeheartedly say that I'm a believer. I believe in God. Uh, I'm a geek. That cannot change. It will never change. And I love my wife and daughter. Those are the things that I'm 100% sure now at this point. Now, am I any good at any of the things that I just mentioned, specifically the whole believing in God, being a believer thing? No, and I've talked about this before in previous podcasts, whether it's been the Husky Bible or the Husky Introvert Believer. I've talked about this to no end. And it's not me trying to like justify contradictions in my faith in terms of I live one way or say I believe one thing and then living it out the other way because I still have a lot of things that are not so Christian like. Like, for example, my language, which is still something I'm finding ways to control. To again, some people don't really care about the language, and when I mean language, I mean a cursing, just cursing. I have a very short fuse, and my temper shoots out, and the first thing that will come out of my mouth is a bunch of cusses. And I am a man of two cultures, Dominican and American, and the plethora of languages used when I'm in a volatile state of mind. It is not short. Let's just say there's an abundance of cuss words that come out of my mouth, and I'm very conscious of that, and I'm very conscious of other things as well. There's maybe some things that I have defects in my life that I may not be very conscious of. For that, I have my wife. She will tell me clear as day the things that are wrong with me, which is apparently many. Apparently, I mean, she has yet to hit pay dirt. She has yet to find the basement level of the things that are wrong with me. And I thank God because He's real and He's willing to deal with this mess. Because as I tell people in church, the church I go to, I'm God's mess. So it's His job to deal with me. And my wife is her job is to have patience with me and coexist with me for some reason. Which I mean, the fact that she hasn't killed me yet speaks volumes of how good of a Christian woman she is. Because I should be dead. I should be dead. I am not meant to be a companion for anyone. I mean, one, I'm an introvert. We already went through all that, what that entails. And the other is that I have a very particular set of social skills. But what I mean by that is I have none. I have no social skills, and some people might be like, "Oh, what you talking about?" We have certain interactions that I'm willing, prepared to, dabble into with a social sphere because I have had to learn how to interact with people because it is unavoidable. And as much as I would like to be living under a rock or living in an island or in the mountains, away from any human civilization whatsoever, as much as I would love that, that's a little impossible, especially with my budget. I cannot afford to live in the wilderness and buy land there and interact with the animals and become a hunter. I am husky, but I have yet to develop the primordial man instincts of yesteryear, where men were hunters and gatherers and hunted for their food. I know no such applications in the real world for that. If that would have been my job, I think I would not be as big as I am. That's one. That's one. Two, I would not be alive. Yeah, I would not be alive. I would have been prey. I would have been eaten by a pack of wolves, a pack of bears, or a bear. You know, insert the Revenant clip here with Leo DiCaprio getting eaten by a bear. Spoilers. He didn't get eaten by the damn near did. Damn near did get eaten by a bear. Spoilers for I don't know, like 5, 6, 7 year old movie now. Uh, but yeah. Uh, why he couldn't grow a full beard, just like right under like just the goatee beard and like under the chin, but on the sides he can't grow a beard on the sides for some reason. Weird that I had to think about that. I don't know. Maybe it's because I can grow facial hair now. Well, I can grow hair, and I'll limit the descriptions of the places where the hair will grow, because you didn't come here to hear that, and I apologize already for the implications of where the said hair is growing. It is decreasing in some places though, on top of the Chrome Dome. Anyway, wow, that's a weird tangent to go into when I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. This is one thing you can expect on these podcasts. It's going to be of audio Jackson Pollock painting. It's going to be splattered all over the place. So, like if you're trying to follow in with like a coherent line of thought, I apologize. This is how my brain works. It is all over the place, and I'm thinking about 20,000 billion things at the same time. So I'm very distracted. I am not paying attention to anything that is going on outside in the real world. I have no interest in the things that are going on outside in the real world. My interest right now is please God, get my wife and daughter here, and other things that I will keep to myself at this juncture. But that's pretty much where things end with me. So, yeah, uh, yeah, introvert, very hard with social skills. I've learned to mimic social skills with the social people to the point that some may even think that I might be, gasp, normal. I can assure you 100% that that is not the case. My wife can attest to that as well. I am many things. Normal is not one of them. Uh, but by the grace of God, here I stand. And I've learned with time to accept myself, to love the good things in me and the bad things in me. You know, set a course for correction, acknowledge them, know that they're wrong, and set a course for correction. My faith has helped me a lot in those areas where I'm still lacking. I don't pretend to be all with it, that I am this completed model, that I know that I'm just perfect in every shape and form. I'm not. And I don't preach perfection. I don't preach me knowing more than anybody, because I don't. I don't know more than anybody. What I will preach is about God's grace, because if He has love to deal with a guy like me, and when I talk about this, I mean there's only two beings on the universe that know about this, which is God and me. And I know me. I live by one simple rule: to be true to myself, to not BS myself. And there's a lot of BS in this world. And the worst BS of the world, I mean, there's a lot of bad BS, but the worst ones is the one that you BS yourself. And there's a lot of that going on in the real world. People BSing themselves, deceiving themselves. Because, again, I've said this before in even sermons and whatnot, that we are the hero of our story. We don't want to be the villain. We look at ourselves as the good guy. We're not the bad guy. The bad guy is everybody else but me. What if it turns out that you are actually your worst enemy? That you are the one that has been conspiring against yourself since day one. And the worst thing that you can do is to think that there are no defects in your line of thinking. That is the worst thing you can do. It is absolutely the worst thing you can do. Because the best you can do is to look at yourself, look at your heart, look at yourself, and see the everything in you. Like, do not be afraid of, you know, looking into the deep end of your soul, looking at the cracks and ugliness of your soul. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's strength to that. Like, if you can come out the other end of after looking at yourself and acknowledging the the the, the ugliness in you, I find that there is some strength into that, because it tells you that there is a sorely lacking area in your life that needs to be fixed. And the first thing in order to solve a problem is to acknowledge that there is a problem. So after you acknowledge that there is a problem, then what are you going to do? What are you going to do about that problem? Are you going to just fold your hands and say, well, I'm screwed? Or are you going to dig a little deeper and seek help? Now, the seeking help part, I mean, I'm a Christian. I have my way. I do not wish to impose a way to anybody else. I believe that Jesus is the way. I don't wish to impose a way to others. If you would like to follow Jesus, that's on you. If you want to find your own way, that's on you as well. Everybody is responsible for their own lives, and I don't want to impose my stuff. Although it is my podcast, and I do have my belief, and I do believe in Christ, but I don't wish to impose a way. Like, y'all got to find your own way. Now, I know this for some Christians out there. They'll be like, that's not a very Christian thing to say. You should have just given them the word and whatnot. Well, people got to find out about themselves, and they shouldn't be taking my word for it. Like, my experiences with God is more of a personal stuff, and I do not impose my personal views and my personal experience on others. I would say the same thing that Jesus told, come and see. Or I think one of the disciples said about another one. So, okay, come and see. Come and see what it's about. So if you want to know what Jesus was about, then come and see. You don't want to know what Jesus is about, then don't come and see. I'm not imposing my belief system into everybody. Okay, that's not what I'm about, and this is not what this podcast is about. This podcast is about me just spewing whatever's in my head. That's it. I just so happen to be a Christian. I so happen to be a believer. If you don't believe in that, fine. Fine. I just hope that you can join me in this journey for whatever reason I'm doing this. Some fulfilling of ego or whatever. I don't know. Because I'm not that type of person. I'm really a private person, yet I'm doing this, releasing it on the ether, and whoever listens to it happen to listen to it. Okay, so there. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut it there and end it there because I try to keep these under 20 minutes. Um, just a reminder of the T Public store. The link will be in the bio. You can buy T-shirts, cell phone cases, stickers, magnets, pins, and whatever. If you like those designs, just buy one. I mean, right now, a lot of people are into that Dominican baseball right now, and those are selling good. And keep on buying them. If you are one of those that are buying, keep buying. That helps me. And also remember huskybarboo.pod.com, which is a website where you can check out this and also the Husky Barboos, which I do with Jonathan. Remember social media, HB Media. It's at Instagram. And my personal Instagram, which is at that Ariel Duran. So this has been the Husky Introvert Believer number 8. And hopefully you liked it. Take care and thank you for listening. Bye.